So I'm Dr. Jonna Jackson, and I'm a postdoctoral fellow here in the Department of Psychology, and I work under Cassandra Gibson-Reichart and Foster Olive. My background always stemmed from psychological disorders, so schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, and addiction goes really hand in hand with a lot of these disorders. They use it as a coping mechanism. So as I was in my doctoral degree focusing on that, I kind of opened my interest into delving into what makes these psychiatric disorders worse, how can they be treated better, and how addictions become more prominent in that subset of population. And it's just kind of snowballed into where I'm at now. This project really focused on a subset of neurons within the nucleus accumbens, which is a primary center for the reward pathway. And we really wanted to see if we can control these neurons, how does that affect nicotine seeking, or in our hands, our model of nicotine relapse. And what we found was really interesting, that if we actually shut down this population of neurons within the nucleus accumbens, it inhibited relapse. And when you activated them, they still were prone to relapse. As addiction scientists, we all want to know the pathways and what's happening and how we can manipulate those pathways to prevent addiction or to prevent relapse. And I think this project really unfolds another piece of the puzzle that we can hone in and target later on down the road as a treatment option, as a pharmacotherapy route, if we can dissect the circuitry a little bit further.
It's important to note that the current pharmacotherapies out there to treat tobacco use disorder are replacement therapies, meaning that they're literally just another route of administration of nicotine itself. And what that's doing is it's acting on that pathway because it's nicotine, but there are obvious differences in terms of how it's activating that pathway. But it's important to kind of dissect out the neural circuitry in order to discover novel pharmacotherapies, because the more we know about how these cells are talking to each other and driving that seeking behavior, the more we can maybe tailor new pharmacotherapies to target, either specific cells, different receptors, different systems.
I think the coolest thing that I do is being able to link single cell physiology and how neurons communicate with one another to a behavioral level. And so I can link exactly what's going on a cellular level and be able to manipulate that in a point that I can actually affect the behavior, which I think is the coolest part to me, that I can understand it from a cellular all the way to a behavioral level and link the two.
My postdoc, Dr. Jonna Leyrer Jackson, is amazing. She's talented, she's skilled, she's got what it takes. And I really think that this is an opportunity to show the neuroscience world what she's capable of, and I'm really excited for her.